Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris here, and welcome to my Blu-ray update. So I got three brand new releases from Arrow Video here in the US. First up is the 80s cult classic Brain Damage, as well as Cops vs. Thugs, which is a Japanese Yakuza film, and also Joe D'Alessandro in The Climber, which is a Italian mobster flick. Alright, so let's first take a look at Brain Damage, which is a fun, cheesy 80s horror film from 1988, and a prime example of how much fun those 80s horror films was like, man. And a movie you definitely want to kick back with your friends and laugh your ass off and, have fun with it. And the story is about Elmer the parasite, this funny looking parasite which decides to ditch its owners, this older couple. And at the opening sequence, we get to see the older lady bring a plate full of brains to feed Elmer in the bathtub, and he's gone. He's literally not there. And Elmer basically tries to find somebody that he could feed off of. So he comes across Brian, and he basically controls Brian's mind, and he gets attached, like the parasite gets attached to the back of Brian's head by, on the neck area. And he roams the streets. He makes Brian roam the streets to find victims in which he can take over, and basically attack and eat their brains. So just a really fun film, man. Movies like this obviously don't get made anymore. So that's what I mean about 80s horror films. They just, whatever came to mind at that time period, they just wrote it and filmed it. And I wish they made movies like this more often because, to be honest, I'm not too fond with all the craziness that they put in theaters. Sure, every now and then, it's cool to see like a comic book story on screen, but, it just really gets tiring. I wish they brought back some of these fun films from the 80s again. But nonetheless, we got a great release here by Arrow Video with tons and tons of special features. Brand new on location featurettes where we get to see what some of those exterior shots look like today, interviews, and so much more. So, yeah, let's get into the details as far as what's included. So this film is presented in the aspect ratio 1.85, and as far as special features, I mean, take a look. You get so much stuff here. You get a brand new audio commentary by writer-director Frank Henenlotter, as well as the isolated score track is included, plus a new documentary called Listen to Delight, The Making of Brain Damage. Also a really cool Q&A featurette, which was recorded at the 2016 Off-Screen Film Festival, which features Frank Henenlotter, plus a really cool animated short called Bygone Behemoth. And I gotta applaud Sarah for the fantastic work she did for the newly commissioned artwork. So great job, Sarah, on that. Plus, you get that really cool on-location featurette with Frank Henenlotter and another gentleman as they show you guys some of those exterior shots as far as what those places look like now. So lots of stuff here, theatrical trailer, reversible artwork, and whatnot. And by the way, you get two audio tracks with this release. One is in the original 2.0, as well as a new DTS HD 5.1. And very cool looking slipcover on this one. Really digging that a lot. Nicely done. And here's the booklet as well. Just your average parasite. And I love how soft-spoken he is, too. He's like, Brian. Pretty funny stuff, man. So, yeah, lots of nice stuff to read in here. That's Brian right there. There's Elmer. Nice artwork on the case as well. And as far as picture and audio quality, I'm going to rate it a 4 out of a 5 for both. Overall, the picture looks very clean, a bit of softness, but nice color saturation, and pretty much what you would expect from an 80s film, So that's the original artwork right there. So that's Brain Damage, directed by Frank Henenlotter. And next up, I got Cops vs. Thugs, which is a Japanese Yakuza film from 1975. And Yakuza films are known to be these gangster mafia stories of the Japanese underworld. And this is one of the better Yakuza films that I've seen, and it's action-packed. And the story is about this dirty cop who's friends with members of the Yakuza, and he needs to choose between staying a cop or, becoming more closer with the Yakuzas. So pretty fun times with this one, and the story takes place in 1963, but you see cars of the future, cars of 1975 in the street. So obviously they didn't pay close attention to every single detail. And back then, people didn't really care. As long as the story was well written, that's all they cared about. They would just grab the camera and start filming, and that's what I like to call guerrilla filmmaking at its finest. But the movie itself, definitely worth taking a look at, and I really like this cover art. It reminds me a lot of you would see with those Mondo posters. So anyway, let's take a look to see what's included as far as the special features. So this film is presented in the aspect ratio 2.35, and of course English subtitles are included since this is a Japanese film. And as far as featurettes, you get one called Beyond the Film, Cops vs. Thugs, which is a new video appreciation. as well as a new visual essay on cops and criminals. And of course, you get the original theatrical trailer, plus the reversible sleeve and booklet. And yeah, I gotta applaud Ian McEwan. He did a fantastic job with the new artwork for this film. Let's take a closer look at that beautiful artwork. So this is directed by Kinji Fukusaku, and in terms of picture and audio quality, I'm gonna rate this one a 3.5 out of a 5. You get specks of dirt and debris show up, and it's a rather soft-looking image, and you can tell it's a older master that they used for this release. So you got the booklet itself. So yeah, the image-wise, it's not great, it's not bad, it's just in the middle. It's the Blu-ray copy. Love the artwork on that as well. That's the DVD, and the original artwork is behind here. And the booklet, pretty cool release, man. Really fun times with this movie. Show the back as well. So that is Cops versus Thugs. And finally, I got the Italian gangster film, The Climber, which stars Joe D'Alessandro. And what's interesting is Joe's actually an American from Florida. So it's pretty cool to see an American being the lead star of an Italian film. And Joe's been in other well-known films. One comes to mind is Sugar Hill with Wesley Snipes, great film, as well as Cry Baby with Johnny Depp. So he's definitely got his feet wet in American cinema. And this story in The Climber reminded me a lot of Scarface. It's about this street hustler working his way to the top to become part of the mafia, and that's where the title comes from, The Climber. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. So if you're into Italian gangster films, definitely take a look. And I thought they did a great job with the cinematography, and the story's rather interesting. So like I said, it's very much like Scarface. And you also get, as far as special features, a great sit-down discussion with Joe D'Alessandro, in which he talks about this film and other, various interests of his life. So pretty cool sit-down discussion on that. So this film is presented in the aspect ratio of 1.85, and it features a brand new 4K restoration, and overall the picture quality looks very good. I'm going to rate it a 4 out of a 5 because there's a bit of softness, but nonetheless a really nice clean looking picture. And of course you get the English subtitles. You can also listen to the film in English as well as Italian, so you got a good choice right there. And as I mentioned, you get that sit-down discussion with Joe D'Alessandro called Little Joe's Adventures in Europe, which is a brand new interview. And yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as features. Show you guys a close-up of the case itself. Take a look at the discs. So you got the Blu-ray right there, the DVD, and I really like this original artwork too, so I'll definitely flip it over to this end. Pretty cool. And the booklet. Nice rare pictures. That's Joe right there. So that's my review for these 3 fun films by Arrow Video. Thanks for taking a look, guys, and I'll see you guys soon in my next update. Take care.